Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you for coming in our interview.
Sure.
Good. We'll be studying, so I see that you applied for a college event coordinator at your college.
Yes.
So what interests you in applying in this position, especially at the college setting?
Well, I guess I'm first of all, I'm very detail oriented. Everything about planning an event is something that I've done hobby wise, and some of my past jobs have included a little bit of event coordinating. Being detail oriented, I've always just been into putting things together.
Okay.
Every aspect of putting an event together in a meaningful way, I feel like that just I feel good about it. And I don't just put out, in inviting people and putting food out. It's about kind of making the event more personalized to really fit the people that are involved in it. I chose to be in a college setting because a lot of my work has always been in a college setting. I've done a lot of administrative work in various offices in the college. And one thing that I noticed was that I recognize a lot of issues that college students have, and I really wanted to do something about it. Event to me is one way to find a solution. So if a club has to come up with some kind of a money, it's fundraising. So I would help them set up some kind of a fundraising event for the campus so they could raise money to do whatever they have to do. If it was a matter of getting international students involved, we can do an international fair to really get them all involved and connected. So event to me is more than just event. It's about coming up with solutions to possible college problems that commonly happen.
Okay, good. So one of the key successes to event planning coordinator is to effectively communicate with coworkers. Please tell me a time when you had problem with a coworker and what did you do and what's the outcome?
Okay, I didn't exactly host this event, but I used to be an intern for a career fair coordinator. And one of our jobs was actually to hire undergraduate student workers to help set up tables, arrange materials that were delivered to the venue to be displayed at the employers' tables, and to really greet the employers. So us as interns were basically supervising the student helpers.
Okay.
And during the event, I noticed that a group of students were actually getting a little chatty and not really tending to the employer's needs. So if the employers needed more materials, they were the ones to get it, but I saw a group of them just kind of not focusing but paying more attention to each other than the employers. And so as much as I didn't like it, I did have to pull them aside, and of course I did it in a private manner so that they don't go back feeling uneasy or embarrassed. I did pull them aside and told them that it's nothing personal, but that I saw that the employers felt kind of uncomfortable and needed something, and that wasn't getting addressed. So I did tell them that their attention needed to be more on that rather than each other. And so it was a little hard at first, but when I did get to talking, and I told them that it wasn't anything to be stressed out about, it was just something that I noticed. I made it kind of not too formal so that they don't go back feeling nervous, so
Okay.
they were able to work, and it was a successful event.
Okay, I see. So, part of this job required that you provide assistance to things you may not be able to have familiarity with. Provide an example and what you would do prior to prepare yourself.
Research. So whether that's planning a conference in a destination that I'm not familiar with, I research the area. Of course, internet being our best friend today, I go on the internet and use any available data to me that's provided for me. I would also ask any coworkers who've worked in previous similar areas to give me any good advice or anything that they learned from it, just to get good advice on it. And yeah, that's what I'll do, just so that I kind of know the area. I'd also contact them, I guess, if there's any kind of information given to me by contacting them, just to see how the area is, where do I call if I run into any kind of problems. So I guess I'll do research and reach out to any of my coworkers for any help.
It's really good when you do research, learn more about something.
Right, I definitely do that before I ask the coworkers as well.
Good job. What are the steps you take to stay organized to ensure, for example, everything runs smoothly? And what are the important deadlines you met?
So I'm a very visual person. I write everything down. If you looked at my agenda, it's just charts, notes, notes after notes, things written, crossed out. It's like the thing about crossing out, it makes me feel like I've achieved something. So being a visual person, I do write everything down. Any deadlines that need to be met, it's all about, and that really does keep me focused on. And every day I check it. It's a daily thing that I do. Beginning of the day is just looking at what the list of tasks that I have, any of the deadlines, I'll mark it so that I know. So that's one way that I'll make a timeline for myself and really know when things need to be done and get done. So that's my way of staying organized.
Okay, that's pretty good. One of the most important skills that planners even must have is being able to act quickly on crisis. Tell me more about how you prepare yourself for the unexpected.
That's a good question. More than anything, I actually stay mentally calm. I think that's the most important thing. I've seen cases when a lot of event planners, they make one mistake, which could happen to anyone really. Nothing could go perfectly, it's never guaranteed. But they almost kind of lose it. They lose other aspects of the event because of that one flaw. So they could have just lost focus on that one, but because they kind of freaked out, they lose focus on all the other things, but it really could have just been that one small flaw. And most of the time it's an easy fix. You just have to stay composed and stay in control of your emotions, I think. And I guess one other thing that I do that's a little silly is I carry all my must-haves. So I realized through some of my experience that you run into very unexpected things, like one of the more important people that are speaking in the event has a headache or something like that. So I've built up my must-haves. So I have my Advil, some fashion items too. I carry, other painkillers, first aid kit even. So I have a variety of things that I actually carry with me at all times. Just you never know what's gonna pop up.
Oh, that's pretty good. You get ready for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice to know. What are some ways you decompress or cope with stress after a long day of work?
So I have a group of friends that I've stayed close to with a very long period of time, and we all have different jobs. But we all have projects. Like I would consider an event a project. And so when all of us are basically done with our major projects, we plan a day to get together. And we usually pick this so that all of us have gone through something really stressful. And then we'll pick a day and we pretend like we're in college again. We all met in college. And we'll all go out and just hang out like we're in college again. But the key thing to my way of decompressing is I actually don't take part in any of the planning. So where we go, what we do, and anything about the planning, I don't take part in. I guess I just kind of sit back and see how things unfold as much as I want to question their choices. And some of them are so disorganized, so I don't know why they try, but it's entertaining, I guess, and that's one way that I kind of get joy out of them doing the work for me, and in a way it kind of helps me deal with the stress. I kind of, I guess, de-stress after planning myself and going through so much stuff.
Well done. Okay, I'm hearing that you are very organized and detail-oriented. Which can you work in your advantage in that field? It can even work against you at times. So can you tell me more on your strengths and your weaknesses?
Definitely. You're right. You're absolutely right. Being detail-oriented and organized, it's a strength. I would say it is, because I kind of know when the important deadlines are and what to do and when to do it. But you're right. I tend to depend on a lot of my notes, and so sometimes I look the things that are unwritten. So I guess that is part of my weakness, and the way that I'm trying to overcome it is by kind of depending on my brain for the small stuff. Because once you start writing everything down, you write everything down, and you almost depend on what's written and what's not. You just sometimes forget about it. So one thing that I've been trying to do is kind of depend on my brain, what I remember, and it's been a work in progress, and I think it's actually working pretty well. It'll take just a little bit of training to get there, though.
Okay, I see. Based on your past education and experience, what can you offer to this company?
So my education actually, I have my bachelor's in sciences, which kind of doesn't relate to this. My master's is in psychology, which I guess the counseling piece of it I can definitely use because clients or students, everyone need, whenever you're planning an event for them, you need someone who you can communicate with and who understands. So that one piece I can use. I've done a lot of administrative work for people, so as far as financial management, because budgeting is very important in event planning, planning a convention, planning setting a conference. Like I can name various things, but more than anything, I think I can offer my interpersonal skills because I've worked with diverse group of people, whether those are students in a diverse setting or even different age groups. I've worked with many types of people, and I really think I could offer that kind of a skill where I can really connect and communicate with different types of people, and I think that's just very important, communicating and really relating to people when you're planning an event for them, because they want to work with someone that they can really trust and depend on, because I'm really doing some of the work for them, and so they want to be able to trust me. So that two-way communication I've really picked up over time. So that is definitely something I can offer to this university.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank
So
you.
thank you for coming.
Thank you
So I will
very
let you
much.
know on our further notice
Thank
about
you.
our decision. So
I'll be
I
waiting.
hope you enjoy your nice day.
Yes, thank you very much.
much.